Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a tennis court arena in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. Fun fact, you can find me hiding somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know if and when you see me down below in the comment section. This is the amount of space required to make the build, including a handy grid, which you may choose to copy, that will show you the starting position. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by destroying 15 blocks in the ground going that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then destroy 26 blocks going that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We then want to destroy blocks going this way, and we want to line up with where we very first started, digging all the way back on ourselves, creating a rectangle, which we are now just going to fill in with white concrete. This is going to be the outer part of the court. We then want to dig a rectangle inside of our rectangle, leaving a gap of 1 extending all the way along the inside. Which we then want to fill in with white concrete. On the right and left side of the court, we want to find the middle block, which is right here, destroy it, place a white concrete. On the left and right side here, we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3 from that white concrete, destroy the next block, dig up and down, just like this. And then let's just do the same on the opposite side. So again, leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then destroy this next block, up and down. And then we want to destroy a row in the middle, extending across to both sides of the court, just like this. And then we want to count and find the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th block right here, which we will destroy up and down. So this is what we are looking for. We can then replace all of the empty space with white concrete. And these are all of the markings that we need for our tennis court. Next, we are going to remove all of the grass block from inside of our tennis court. I'm realizing this may have been easier to do before we actually added all of the lines for the court. But, oh well, we can't take it back now.
Once all of the grass has been removed, we are going to replace it with pink terracotta. This is an unconventional colour choice, but it's kind of meant to look like the cool reddish sort of clay that you see on some courts. Quite honestly, you can use almost any colour you want for the tennis court. If you have a little look on Google, or maybe even if you're knowledgeable of tennis, you'll notice that you can get like blue courts, orangey looking ones, green of course, but also some reddy, kind of pinkish looking ones as well. So quite honestly, I think that the choice is kind of yours on what colour you want to make this, and this just really looks nice with my shaders and contrasts nicely with the rest of the arena. Next, let's make the net. Come all the way over to here and place a polished black stone wall, and all the way over to here and place a polished black stone wall. In between these, we will place a row of cobwebs. I've noticed that on some nets, there is also like an additional bit of stand in the middle, so you may want to add that. And I think this looks better with white carpet on top of the web, but that's just my personal choice. Next, I'm going to make the larger of the two seating areas. To begin, we will come all the way over to this corner of the court. We will leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place a row of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue concrete extending backwards. We can then extend all the way across here to this side of the court, and we can extend forwards until we are 2 rows away from the court, just as we did on the opposite side. So this is the shape of the stand. However, we also need to add a row of blue concrete in between the ends of these rows, so we just leave a gap of 1 here, and we place a row of blue extending all the way over to the right, leaving a gap of 1 on the right as well. Then we want to raise up this long back row by 4 more rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to extend across. Then we are going to add some seating. So the first set of seating is going to be just a row of smooth quartz stairs extending all the way across here. If you like, you can add a split in the stairs in the middle. I'm not sure whether I prefer it or not, so we can just leave it as that for now, but if you like, just connect the stairs together. I'm going to place oak slabs in between and on the ends of the stairs here with a row of oak planks directly behind this. And then we are able to place a row of smooth quartz stairs connecting to the back here, just filling in this gap. And we can also remove all of the grass in front here and replace all of this with oak planks. Then we actually have to raise up the sides of the stand as well, so we just add 2 rows, 1, 2, just on the sides, extending from the back to the front, or from the front to the back. And then we are going to place smooth quartz slab on top of our blue concrete, just like this, and we're going to extend forwards by 3 rows, so 1, 2, 3. And this is just to cover up the lower seating, and we just want to extend the entire row. So ultimately, the stand will look like this, which looks pretty good, and I do have an optional extra for you. So, along the stands, it's not uncommon to see advertising. So, if you like, you can add some paintings if you want to. I'm not 100% sold that the stand looks any better or even any worse with or without the paintings. So it truly is your choice on whether or not you want to add them, and in what amount, and how you want to add them. But we have luckily managed to get just about a nice mix. The only double was that one, which, you know what, I'll just leave for the sake of it. But that's one augmentation that you can make to the stand. Later on, I'll show you how you can add spectators as well. But they're really quite loud and a little bit annoying, so we'll save that for the end of the video. Moving on to this side of the court, we can now make the smaller stand. So once again, we are going to come to the corner of the court and leave a gap of 1, 2. And then we will place a row of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue concrete extending this way. We can then extend all the way across, and then we can extend towards the opposite corner of the court here, just leaving a gap of 2. We are then going to add a row of blue concrete between these two ends, leaving a gap of 1 from each other, just on the ends like this. Then we can add a row of smooth quartz stairs. So this is directly behind the blue concrete, but just leaving a gap of 1. We can add oak slabs left and right of the smooth quartz stairs with a row of oak planks behind them. We can also take this opportunity to remove the grass and replace this with oak planks. And now, just because it's a little bit easier, we can add a row of 4 blue concrete on top of the back of the stand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, we can add a row of 2 on the side of the stand as well, just on the left and right. We may as well add those whilst we're here. So I'll do this side now, and then I will raise up the back. Then I'm just going to add the row of smooth quartz stairs along the back here. A row of smooth quartz slab on top of the back of the stand, which we will extend forwards by 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then we have that quandary again on whether or not we want to add some paintings, aka advertising. So this area is a little bit smaller, and we actually managed to get a nice mix. So it's honestly, I do kind of like it because it is interesting. The same reason that I kind of like the spectators as well when we add them. But this is a lot of the arena made. So next, we are going to make the umpire's chair. So we leave a gap of 1 from this side of our net. Place a barrier block here with a smooth quartz stair on top, ladder in front of the barrier, stack up some oak trapdoors left and right of the stair, slash the barrier, and there we go. As easy as that. Next, we are going to add a floodlight all the way over here. So in this position, we will place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diorite wall with sea lanterns on top. 2 of them, and then we want to place sea lanterns extending outwards diagonally, just like so. And on top of these, I'm just going to stack some iron trapdoors, just because I think it looks quite good. Next, for some reason, I want to add a small tree in the corner of the build here. We leave a gap of 2 from the corner of the stand, 1, 2. Place an oak wood here, stick 1 on top, 2 oak leaves on top, and then we just add a circle of oak leaves extending all the way around the tree. I made that look really difficult, but it's really, really simple to do. If you want to make it look a little bit less square, you can just pop the top out like that, and that looks pretty good. Next, let me show you how to make a scoreboard. So, just right of the umpire's chair, we will place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black concrete. Stick a row on top, and pale oak buttons in the middle. I'm not certain I like this, but I have also placed blue carpet on top. I don't know whether I prefer it or not, but regardless, What we can now do is add a score, if you like. So throw down the loom, open it up, black banner in there with white die, and I think that the scores in tennis are a little bit low. So let's just go for a 0 first of all, which is the pale Dexter pattern, pale sinister pattern, chief, and then base. So that's an O. You might prefer to add a bend as well, which I don't think looks too bad, to be honest. Or shall we just keep it like that? We'll not add the bend pattern, so we'll just grab that, and we can keep the 0 here. And then we can just make a 1 and a 2. So a 1 would just be a fresh banner in there, and we can have the pale pattern. If you want it to look a little bit more like a 1, actually, maybe a more traditional one, maybe you can add the Chief Dexter Canton, and then the base. And then we can make a 2 by placing, or whatever number you want. Shall we go, we might as well just go 1 and 2. So we'll go for Chief, base, and then we'll go for the bend sinister pattern, and then that way we can place 0, 0, and then 1, 2. So that's the score, but of course, just augment the numbers to your own personal preference. Last bit, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to remove all of the grid from around our tennis arena. And I suppose that this is a little bit of an optional extra, because if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. What I'm essentially doing right now is marking out where a fence will be around the arena, which you do not have to do in the slightest. So again, this is an optional extra. You don't have to feel the need to do this if you don't want to. But once we have removed all of this, we are going to, with the exception of these 2 blocks, we want these 2 blocks to be grass or some sort of path block, and then the rest of these blocks are going to be cyan terracotta, which we are just going to extend all the way around the edge of our build, just like this. Which we don't need to do, by the way, if you're not adding the fence. I should make that clear, because on top of the cyan terracotta, we are now just going to stack 2 rows of iron bars. Anyone else dislike placing iron bars? I certainly do. Oh, I find it so tricky. There we go. The arena is looking really nice right now, but I do have 2 more optional extras that you may choose to add. Let's go. The first optional extra is to customize the tennis court a little bit. So I like the idea of sticking an armor stand in this position, player head, and iron armor. You can also use white dyed leather armor as well, but honestly, it doesn't look too much different from the iron, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I'm going to place 1 here, and 1 over here in the equivalent position. And if you like, you can give them tennis rackets in the form of iron shovels just on the ground next to them, and you can even add a ball somewhere as well, so wherever you may want to add that, which is just going to be a lime shulker box. Now, last but not least, I will show you how to make spectators. The audience for the tennis match. So you'll need barrier blocks, an anvil, name tags, and some form of spectator. I always go with villagers because it just makes sense. So throw down an anvil, and we're just going to name the name tag like and subscribe. Anyway, we are then going to place barriers inside of the smaller stand. So I like to kind of stagger the spectators like this. So have one every other block. And the challenge for the spectators, aka the villagers, will always be, how do we stop them escaping? And that is by making prisons using barriers. So the first set of spectators will be on the front row here, and then behind will be in kind of like a zigzag pattern like this. So it's going to be easier to see, but we actually have to add quite a lot of barriers to stop them moving, essentially. And we're essentially making cages, is what we're doing. It's kind of like a villager zoo, I guess, is what we end up making. But this should hold them, and in each one of these we should be able to add, and feel free to keep taking out the barrier blocks if you need to kind of just remind yourself. Okay, so that is the problem. And unfortunately, we do have a villager on the loose, and we have learned our lesson nice and quickly, which is fantastic. So what we have to do is we have to add barriers on the sides of the stand here as well, and we also have to make them one higher on the top, because they can just climb up on top of these stairs. So it does require a little bit of preparation, but will be well worth it. And once we have all of these guys in here, we should be able to just drop them into here now, and they can just kind of like walk around freely. We can then name tag them. Right, this is named. Oh, I guess I didn't name it. Well, second time's the charm, and then we can just place this on our villagers, and they will not despawn. Or shouldn't despawn. Now, I've just realised this is going to be a little bit difficult for this top row, but, you know, unfortunately, we do just have to destroy the top of the stand here, and we can just seal this up. And you might also notice now why I've only just done this. The sound is quite overwhelmingly, But regardless, I think that this does look really good, and I am just going to replicate this over here. But as it does take a really long time, I think it's definitely a good choice to add them. They look really good. They do just make loads of noise. What's your favourite villager sound? Mine is either the or the With that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our tennis court arena into our city. I kind of want to place it here, but I'm not sure it makes the most sense. It's kind of nice though, because we've got the parking. Maybe the hockey arena just kind of has to take a hike. Yeah, I think we're going to put it here. I think that we're just going to move the hockey arena somewhere else at some point.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, consider becoming a channel member. You will gain access to loyalty badges, some fun emojis, and a monthly download for every single build used in our city. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.